Hey, Kim, you're a little early. We're just setting up now.
Early is on time, and on time is late. So Kimberly's the only one on time. Lord, bro.
So you know how to share your screen? You have to be on Google Chrome, by the way.
Really? I don't. I think I'll share my screen.
Oh, I think it said it was the best one, but I guess you could try it on whatever you're using. What could you be using?
I work at Microsoft. I use Edge. Okay, it's the best browser. It's the best browser in existence. Better than Safari. Better than.
Better than Safari? Hello?
Yes, bro.
Well, to be fair, anything can be better than Safari.
That's amazing.
Also, is my webcam showing or is the State Farm thing showing? I can't tell.
It's a State Farm thing, man.
Oh, okay. Hold on.
Yo, Caesar, look at this.
Whoa.
Dude, it's so good. I'm so excited.
All right, there we go.
Yeah. What's annoying is that, like, here, I'm gonna stop sharing my screen real quick.
Dude, I've just been Twitch streaming on my Expo booth. You know what I mean?
Bro, for next year, I found out the trick. Like, next year, I want to come back with Xbox and just, like, stream. Like, have the devs bring, like, developers and, like, just stream, like, Xbox games and then answer questions over. That's such a perfect solution, bro. I just thought about that, like, this weekend.
Literally get OBS and just use the virtual capture stuff and have fun with that. That's what I've been doing.
Well, Xbox is now, like, a lot of PC too, right? We have, like, PC Game Pass. We have, like, game studios creating PC games. So.
Nice.
Haven't really heard back for, like, Mac, though, you know? Mac's just an interesting
Master Race.
You didn't see anything?
Don't worry. We saw the ceiling.
It may be like a little top of my hair.
Yeah, just a tiny bit. We know Shauna has brown hair, guys.
Yay. Well, technically it's dark brown. So I guess black.
There you go.
Hello.
They put on the mic.
Really? Dude, the camera's so wide. You can see my Pusheen in the back.
He's sitting there. What's hugs?
He's on the couch watching TV.
What's hugs?
I didn't realize the camera would show that far.
Oh.
Rip, dude. Pretty far.
What is that, Jose?
I'm playing Potion Craft.
You can just overlay that? No way, that's so cool.
Yeah, dude, I'm using OBS. Like I can put.
I need to get OBS right.
Listen,
so that
hold
I can
on.
hide the mess.
What can I put in here?
That's pretty cool.
Jose, can you share screen and show the PowerPoint?
Yeah, I think people are joining and they're like, "What are we watching?"
You know, I forgot that it's 9 right now, so technically the workshop should be starting.
Yeah. All right.
It's after hours. You know, it's like late at night at 9. So.
There we go.
Oh. All right, let's give people maybe like 2 more minutes.
Yeah,
sounds good. Start. Miami time.
Yeah.
So just everyone that's joining us, we're from the UPE Alumni Association. We'll explain that in a little bit. But pretty much we'll be talking for roughly 20 minutes about how to network, why it's important and all that good stuff. And then we'll just instruct you guys to go ahead and go to the networking tab. Jose will explain a little bit how to use it and all that. Yeah. Jose M. will explain it. I forgot.
Yeah, not this Jose.
Not the
Bro,
one
there's
with the
three-
potion craft.
There's 3 Jose's in my team, bro. It's so I'm Jose M. Everyone calls me Jose M.
That's pretty
Let's
funny.
see. Ta-da-da. Bro.
Maybe in the meantime, you guys can tell us like where you're coming from. If you're from FIU, from Miami, or you're from outside of Miami area. You can drop it in the chat. California, cool. I know Shanna, you're in Tampa.
And you're all the way in New York with that view.
Ecuador, nice. Miami eating
Ecuador,
Really?
cosas,
dang.
yes.
Is
Yeah,
that the
that's
same?
Ecuador, Jose.
I know. I think I saw something from Ecuador yesterday. Maybe it's the same person,
Fellow
but I
Ecuadorian here.
can't see the chat. So
Nice. New York
the
City,
recruiter from
yes.
Microsoft is also from Ecuador. I didn't know that.
Interesting. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Get somebody from Ohio, New York City, Miami, FIU graduated last month. Congrats. Also
She's
from
a grad.
Miami, but
Where's my Georgia people, man?
any
They swear on
Atlanta
tech.
peeps?
Yeah.
What's ever
Okay,
from
but I think-
Atlanta in these places? Man?
I think we can get started. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Okay. Cool. Awesome sauce. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the UPE Alumni Association's event for Shellhacks. We are super excited to be here, not only because Shellhacks is such a great event supporting our community, but also a lot of us were part of UPE and also organizing Shellhacks back in the day when it just started. So we're just excited to come back and help as much as we can and help connect students to opportunities that we ourselves have been able to find and people that in our network have been able to find. So what we're going to be talking about today is something very important, something that a tool that a lot of us that have graduated and are in the industry now have used to find our opportunities is networking. So it's something very exciting, a tool that definitely very useful to use, and hopefully we will be leaving today with some good information on how to approach it. Today's agenda is about, we're going to be basically going over about us, about the UPE Alumni Association. We're going to be talking about initiatives that you can join as an alumni, as well as the process of the membership, who you need to be a member, and what it takes on the process to do so. And after that, we'll be going into the networking a piece of the content, and ending with a Q&A. And like Yasmin said at the beginning of the event, we'll be going over to Hopin to use their networking features. We actually tried it out throughout the day this morning, and it was really, really great. So we can't wait to share that with you guys. So about us, basically, like we are a chapter of alumni that have graduated from the Upsilon Pi Epsilon chapter at FIU. We're the largest student organization. UPE itself is the largest student organization for technology at FIU. So now that UPE has been running for over 6-7 years, we have a ton of alumni going into industry, and we really thought about what would it look like to keep everybody connected as we continue progressing through our careers and through our lives, and how do we how are we able to stick together and help each other through the journey, basically. UPE itself has had award-winning organization, has been an award-winning organization both locally and nationally. So again, we're receiving a lot of the guys coming from the org, as well as being supported by FIU, a couple of corporate sponsors, which we're some of us are from. And really, like, I think at the end of the day, what we've been really trying to build here is forming a pipeline of diverse talent into the industry. At least I can speak for Microsoft itself. We've had at least 25 members from our community become full-time employees that are a minority. So it's been a great opportunity to continue driving that effort. I'm gonna give an opportunity for the board members that are here to introduce themselves. So Cesar, you want to go ahead?
Yeah. Hey guys. So my name is Caesar. I'm currently a software engineer at JP Morgan Chase here in New York City. Yeah, super excited to be here. This weekend at Shellhacks. I hope that you guys have been having a good time. Attending the workshops, meeting the different sponsors, working on your projects. And yeah, we're all alumni here from from UPE and from FIU as a whole. And we're just really excited to be here to be able to give back to you guys and just help in any way we can. We want you all to also make it once you graduate. So yeah, if you have any questions or anything, please feel free to ask them during the networking that we're going to do. I think it'll be really fun. So I can't wait to meet you all when we do that at the end of the session. So yeah, I'm happy to be here.
Hi, everyone. I'm Yasin Abdurabo. I'm a technology analyst over at Citibank. I'm also in New York City. I was the Shellhacks director for 2019 and 2020, and I'm back this year as a Shellhacks advisor and organizer. So you guys might have seen me in the Discord channel answering some questions here or there. And yeah, just super excited to be networking with you guys later on.
So, hi, I'm Jose. I'm the person that started presenting. I wanted to wait till this moment to introduce myself. I'm a software engineer over at the xCloud team at Xbox, working on tools to understand the quality of our service. Graduated FIU quite some time ago, the fall of 2017, but still very involved a little bit with the organization and with our alumni. So I'm also very excited to network. I think Carolina is not here, correct? So we can go ahead. Cool. Well, for those that don't know, Carolina was also a member of UP. She was very involved in our Spark Dev program, and now she works as a program manager over at Microsoft as well. Shauna.
All right, sounds good. Hello, everyone. My name is Shauna. I work as a software engineer in JP Morgan Chase, and I was an FI alumni. I just graduated almost about a year ago, like fall 2020, so I'm fairly new at this adulting business, but I'm looking forward to be meeting all of you guys.
Jose,
Hello,
you're here
everyone.
too.
Hold on. Is it me next? I apologize.
No, it's even. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, gotcha. Hi, everyone. I'm Jose Aranguren, software developer at State Farm. Graduated in 2019, actually. That might be a little wrong. No, excuse me, 2018. Sorry, time flies by. I forget where I live. But yeah, it's awesome to be here.
Nice. Is Sabina here?
No, she's not.
Okay. Sabina is also working at Microsoft. For those that don't know her, she was very involved in UP as well. So again, another member of the Microsoft family is helping us with this. So what's our mission? Our mission is really to provide alumni with opportunities to grow their network, develop their career, and give back to their community. It's in a very similar sense that we kind of approached the problem with UP in general is how do we create a community of people that can support each other as we continue through our journey. Now, UP is more about supporting our university journey, but now it's about our professional journey. We have a couple of initiatives. You can really think of them in three categories. We have initiatives in our career development space. So for example, a couple of weeks ago, we had a workshop on how to negotiate your salary. We've also had a couple panels of professionals where you were able to engage and ask questions. That's been really great. We've also had some social networking events. A couple of weeks ago, we played Among Us. And we also have our Discord channel, which is awesome. And you can stay in touch on the regular with other alumni across the country that are working on their respective companies. And as well as we're looking to provide student engagement opportunities. So for example, let's say that you want to give back somehow, whether it's through your time, economic resources. There's different ways to give back, but we wanted to find a way to streamline that and to give an opportunity where you can have the most impact. So more news to come on that. On our membership side, it's really open to all FIU alumni that are currently working on technology, are interested in the field, or who want to support our mission. In order for you to sign up, you have to fill up our membership form to get access to our benefits, which we'll link in a second. And you are free to join and be as involved as much as you like. So you can come to our events. You can just hang out in the Discord. or you can go as far as looking to join our leadership team as well. Some of the benefits are, again, you're joining a strong community of alumni working in tech. So far, we have around 300 alumni that we know in our community, ranging from companies like Google, big tech, Microsoft, Facebook, but there's also a wide range of startups and smaller companies across the United States. So there's something for everybody here. There's also an opportunity to get guidance support as you transition into the workforce. That's something that a lot of us did not have. But now that we have a lot of people going through the experience of moving out, there's a lot of financial questions, right? Like, what's a 401k? What does finances mean? What does it mean to buy a house? You know what I mean? There's going to be a group of people that are going through that same journey that you are, and you'll be able to ask those kind of questions. You'll be able to develop your technical and professional skills, since there's a couple of channels that we talk about the tech that we work on. And again, you're able to share what you learn, and others will be able to share what they learn with you. We also have a couple of job postings that come up from time to time. So if you keep an eye out, you might find an opportunity that might be the right fit for you. We also get recognized by UP and FIU for the accomplishments. I think this really goes into the giving back aspect of things that can help move forward the mission that not only our association has, but also the university as a whole, to provide the best talent that we can. And stay connected to your alma mater and give back. I mean, a lot of us, grew up in Miami and went to school there, and I think a lot of us feel a certain attachment and a certain connection back to FIU, and it's a great way to continue being able to be connected. Again, so people in our network, Microsoft, like I said, I myself work at Microsoft, and I know we have a good handful of people that have joined the company in the last 4 years, which has been great. There's also a huge JP Morgan Chase presence as well. But all these companies, to some extent, are kind of in our family, and have people that are working for them and building great things for us. So it's awesome. So you might be asking, what do I do now? This sounds amazing. Like, I want to connect with other alumni that are out there. I want to be part of this community. All you have to do is go to go.fiu.edu /UP Alumni, and this will redirect you directly to our sign-up form. And once you go through that sign-up form, you'll get information on next steps and to join basically the Alumni Association. Yeah, I'm going to leave this there for 1 second just so people can copy paste it if you'd like. If not, we can hopefully, somebody from the board, you guys can also maybe paste it on the chat. That way people can copy paste it from there too. Okay, so this is that was the overview of the UP Alumni Association. If you're interested, I definitely recommend to join it as we're continuing to grow. And we just started this year, and it's going to be a long journey as we all grow through our respective careers. So the earlier you'll be joining in the early stages of things, which is kind of exciting. But now for what most of you we're also here for is the networking side of things. You might be asking yourselves, like I was when I was a freshman, a sophomore, even a junior and a senior, is what is the best way of networking? And we hear this all the time from our universities, to our mentors, to other professionals, and it's a little confusing because it can mean a million things to many different people. So I kind of put this together from my experience. It's not the Bible of networking at all, but I think it will encompass the main pillars of what I think is important when tackling such an important piece, I think, of not only your professional, but even your personal life. So you might be asking, right, like, why networking? Some people might say, hey, I have a strong technical skills, I don't need to network, or some other argument on why they shouldn't really look into networking. But I would ask for you to step back and really listen to some of these things, right? Like networking, at least for me, has enabled access to a lot of opportunities and opportunities for mentorship. I've met some unbelievably talented people that cared about my growth along the way, and they've been able to help me through some of the challenges that I've had through my academic and even professional careers. And those are invaluable, and those really came down to networking and understanding who are the people that I really want to have in that network, and who can I lean on, basically. Everybody knows that you get access to opportunities, but I think the mentorship aspect is not as stressed, I think. I think also being able to build connections with people with similar goals and interests is amazing, because something that I've personally learned, particularly over the last 2-3 years working at Microsoft, is that you can't really build or scale on your own. Being able to connect, being able to communicate, being able to communicate to others what you're passionate about, what you want to build, is so important when it comes to trying to tackle very hard problems that require multiple people to solve, right? And not only that, but you'll also find a community that are also as interested as you are in these different topics, which is great. You make friends. I think the last point is, again, what I talked about, scaling and about solving really hard problems, especially when you get to the tail end of your career as a more of a senior member of a team, is you build the influence to tackle challenges at a larger scale, because you know who to reach out to for what. You don't need to be the person that knows it all, but you're able to lean in and be able to get answers from experts that are better at certain things than you are, right? And in that sense, I kind of think about it like dancing, right? Dancing is very much a give and take thing, and trust me, I also went to computer science school. I didn't know how to dance that well, so maybe some of you in the chat might be laughing and saying, "Well, I can't dance well." I didn't know how to dance until I moved to Seattle, actually, and I started taking salsa classes. But the point is that dancing is very much a push and pull. It's a very communicative thing. It's a very present thing, and that's why when I think of networking, at least on a one-to-one setting, it's very much like the act of, and also comparing it to dancing, it helps communicate the idea that you have to work on it, right? Like it's a skill that is built over time. It's not something that people are born with, even though, like, I know for dancing, people might think that some people are just born like great dancers, they know how to dance, but they put in the practice, and they were able to grow and perform in that way because they put in the work to do it, right? So networking, I think, is the same thing, and that I think is what's exciting about continuing to grow and continuing to learn how to better network. But so we know why like this is why networking is important, right? But you might be asking, okay, like what are the best practices of networking, or what are like the main things that I should watch out for? And I think it really comes down to 3 main concepts. The first one is your brand, right? And which really tackles the question of like, who are you? And this might seem very simple because you might know who you are, but something, at least that I've learned in my experience, is people don't know who you are. And the art of showing people who you are, it might not be as straightforward as it seems. The second one is empathy. It's about like being able to be present and be able to understand your peers in a genuine way. And I'll get to that. I'll get to that in a bit. It's a little more nuanced. But the third one is share, and it's basically, when you network, it's not only about you and the other person, but it's also about sharing those connections with others. And that's really, I think, what amplifies and scales the first 2 points, right? I think the first 2 points are about the actual one-to-one networking, and the third one is about how do you scale out and grow your network at a more exponential rate. So when I talk about your brand, again, it kind of goes back to the question of who are you, because when you meet people, this is something I learned when I was working on startups, is the elevator pitch is very important, because when you meet somebody, you never know when you're going to meet the next person that can give you that opportunity. So being able to leave a lasting impact on that person, on who you are, is so important, so that that person remembers you distinctly for the things that you were able to communicate. This is again, like if people came to the Microsoft sponsorship fair, I talked a lot about when you're in an interview, a lot of people forget that like the first question that you get asked in an interview is hey, like tell me about yourself, like who are you? And people usually scramble to come up with an answer, and the interview doesn't start strong. But if you're able to start strong in the interview with a strong presence and definition of who you are, I think helps you get started. But again, same thing in networking. That makes you a lot more, people want to know more, basically. In particular, I learned this from I went to SHEP 2016, I think, and I went to Goldman Sachs booth, and the guy, I gave my guy a resume. My resume was terrible, by the way, as all of our resumes are when we just start off. And the guy just looks at me, he's like, what's your brand? And that's kind of where I built this idea. And after that, I worked on it. And again, I think that's why it's so important. I think a quote that really exemplifies why this is so, why this actually works, is a quote by Maya Angelou. Says, people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. And I think that's absolutely true. And in the case of having a brand, people really connect to the genuineness and like how hard you've worked to build that, basically. So very important. This is a lot of self-work, something that is actually not really part of the networking, but something that you can do on yourself before going on. The second one's empathy, right? The reason I put this is because I think listening has been an underrated skill. It's like a lot of us hear what people are saying, but we're not really listening. And when it comes to networking, I think it's so important to be present with the person that you're talking to, truly and genuinely, and that you're able to listen and genuinely understand like what your peers saying, like their points or views. And the reason for that is, for one, right, like I guess it's one of those things where like it's something that you like to have, right? You would love to be heard and understood and be understood genuinely. So it creates a positive connection between you and the other person. But I think that's like the first part of the empathetic process. But it's also, do you really understand? Like, do you have the proper context and understanding about what this person's saying and how you can connect to it? Because, for example, when I was working in the startup, a lot of in a startup back at FIU, there are a lot of people working on many different things, and people are very busy, as you can imagine, on the startup world or even in the professional world. But if you can connect something that interests them and that they are, or a problem that you're trying to tackle, and then you have a certain kind of insight that you can share, or a certain person that you know that might be able to help them, then that creates an instant connection, right? Or that person and that person will hear what you have to say, and they will connect you to other people, or they will point you to resources that you might need, for example, right? This is huge. I can't tell you how many times I've been guided to the right people because of this, right? So very, 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 very important. And the last one is sharing, right? Once you've established a strong brand and you're able to communicate what you do, what purposes you have, what are you building, and what are you building towards, and you're able to also open a line of communication with the person that you're networking and understand their context and see how you guys can connect in a meaningful way, then it's so important to go ahead and continue to share the network that you build with others. And the reason for that is that it actually came up with this when I was making this presentation, but I think it's such a cool kind of saying is sharing is scaling. And because once you start sharing, right, like you kind of get also, again, I guess part of your brand becomes, hey, if I'm successful, then like I'm successful when you're successful. And if you make others successful through your ability to share the network and to give them resources, then they will do the same for you. This is coming from somebody that has done that and has repeatedly got the benefits from that kind of attitude towards networking, right? People, yeah, again, people will have be more willing to share the connections with you, and this is the best thing, I think, right? I have some friends or some colleagues from work that ask me, hey, like, why does everybody know you? And I'm like, I mean, I don't really meet everybody. I think what happens is that I communicate the things I really care about, and like they basically, like when somebody knows what I care about and I'm able to communicate to them what I want to do and I connect to them in a certain way, then every time that they interact with another person that has something that could help me, then they almost network for me, right? Like, for example, I had for the startup at FIU, I had an investor who bought into my vision and the mission of the product that we were trying to build. But she became a fan, or and she evangelized like what I told her, and she went ahead and spoke to people in her network about the things that I did. So in essence, like I didn't have to spend time networking with all the people that she did, but she did it for me, and that's how they connected back to me, right? So I didn't actually do the work to me physically connect to them one-on-one, but I had let somebody else kind of do it. And I think this is the hardest, not the hardest, but I think once you're able to get the first two right, the sharing part is so important, and that's what enables you to, again, accelerate things in a better rate. So, and also I would say that the hopefully a theme from this also is that I know sometimes there's an attitude of like this is my network, nobody grab my network, this is my idea, like nobody grab my idea, and then you hide. I think that's actually detrimental to your end goal, right? As more of this model where things are a lot more open and things are a lot more flowing, rather than just me. So I think that's also a big theme to take away from here. So what do we do from here, right? Let's practice. Like, I think this is a great opportunity to practice, particularly on trying to answer like, who are you, and really try to explain like, hey, wait, what are you working at hackathon? What are you passionate about it? And connect others that you meet to other people that you meet when you're networking. So the way we're gonna do this is on Hopin, there is a networking spot or a networking option on the left kind of bar that you see there under sessions above Expo. You're going to click on that, and then you're going to be presented with this panel, and you'll be able to click join. And what this will basically do, right, is that it'll pair you up with another person that is using the networking feature, and you will both have 3 minutes each. Sorry, not 3 minutes each, but you'll have 3 minutes together to talk and network and exchange questions or talk about anything that you guys want. But basically, the basic thing is networking, right? 3 minutes, as some of you might think, is like pretty short. So there's also the option of extending the session. Once I think you get to minute 1 from the 3 minutes, you'll be given an option to extend, which is at the bottom of the window. It's pretty easy to see, and that will extend the session for another 3 minutes. If you want to connect with the other person that you're talking to, there's also a connect button right next to the extend button, and that will basically link both of your Hopin accounts, and you'll have access to their emails through the Hopin website, basically. And that's how you can send emails to each other and stay connected. And to join, again, press join on the networking page, which is right there in the middle. Yeah, before I end, like I also want to just point out, like I was also a freshman. I was also pretty clueless about how all this works, and I want to encourage you all that like might see this as something that's hard or something that's very difficult or something that's scary, that it's totally normal to feel that way, and that it's something that like you really build the muscle over time. But I can't stress enough the importance of it. I think a lot of the executive board, at least in our alumni association, can attest to the effectiveness of being able to network effectively and be able to find opportunities to the people that we meet. So I wanted to do a small Q&A, like because I know we want to go and network. Maybe if I have some questions on the Hopin, I can take maybe 3, and then we could start heading over to the Hopin website. This is the Q&A. I think that
people typically put it in the chat.
Yeah, I don't see any. I think
Maybe they're typing it.
Maybe.
Yeah. If
Tamia, yeah, Tamia says, can international students join? I mean, I think anybody can join, right?
Oh, there's your first one. Scroll down. You're stuck on the top.
Yeah.
oh,
I think Tamia is also Ecuadorian. Hey, Tamia. How exactly would one present their brand? Oh, that's a good one. I'm a big fan of, and this is, I wish I could point you to a book, but I feel like I learned this from my dad, and I felt this from my grandmother. So I feel like it's a family thing too. But you know, what's your purpose? I know that's a very broad topic, and here's a very important thing. There's like no right or wrong answer to this question, but understanding why you do the things you do is so important, because especially when you network, right? When, like, for example, let's say I was with somebody, right? I just met a potential. Actually, I don't know. Like, I met somebody at a conference like this, and we just start chatting, and like the first thing I would want to say is, hey, I am very passionate about building experiences using technology. And then what will naturally happen is they'll say why, right? Or they'll be like, what are you working on? And I think like knowing like why you do things and what really makes you tick not only allows you to communicate in a very genuine and energetic way, in the way that people want to connect to you, but also it in those type of networking conversations, particularly with other people that are interested in what you do, it's kind of like an onion layer, and like they'll keep asking like, oh, why, and have you thought about this, and you do this, and you know what I mean. So like I think like understanding purpose and why is very important. I highly recommend, and I've shared this with everybody basically. There's a guy called Simon Sinek. He's done a presentation on the power of why, and it's basically like, when you think about advertisement, or you think about building products, you always start with the why. Like, why are you building this? What's the purpose of this thing existing? You know what I mean? You could go you could go Nietzsche nihilism and be like, nothing matters. I'm not particularly of that line of thinking, I think. I'm more of a, hey, like, create the meaning. And I think from there you can go and do the thing.
I'd like to throw on there, the way I learned it is, if you know yourself well enough, you can kind of just wing it and the conversation will come naturally. as you're going through it, right? Like, don't put too much forethought to what you're doing in the conversation.
Mhm.
Know who you are, know what you stand for, and it'll come naturally as you kind of build those relationships. You don't want the other person to be a tool. You want the other person to be a person that you understand, that you know, who is there and willing to help you in your journey,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, exactly. And I guess footnote: knowing yourself is a lifelong endeavor.
Oh yeah, you never know yourself. You're there forever.
Second that, I gone through like 3 iterations already.
Well, that's the fun part, I think. It's just the act of trying and the act of
Yeah.
getting closer to that answer is what gets you closer, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I want to start sending people over to the networking. So if you guys see here networking, just press it. I will have to leave this webpage. No, yeah, I'll stop presenting. But click, just go here and go join. A lot of us are going to be in there, so feel free to network with us. Caesar, Jose, Shana, and I will be there. Yasmin will be there too. So yeah, find us there. But outside of that, thanks for coming, and hopefully we'll see some of you guys at the Alumni Association.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. See you guys at the networking.
Looking forward to meet y'all. Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah.